नमस्कार, हाउ आर यू ऑल। आप सबको अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा दिवस की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं। आई एम शिवानी भिंडे फ्रॉम SGAM जामनगर, फाइनल ईयर स्टूडेंट ऑफ आयुर्वेद प्रोफेशन। I am firstly very thankful to my brother Sanjay sir for inviting me over here because all the other speakers are so well versed and experienced, and I have just put forth a step and still you invited me over here. I am thankful to you. Secondly, I would like to thank my Guruji Vaidya Ananta Dharmadhikari sir and Vaidya Abhijit Saraf sir for providing me such a deep knowledge of Ayurveda so that I can share that with you all. And lastly, I would like to thank my friend and guide Vaidya Mahesh Vidya. So now let's start. Firstly, you would be thinking that yoga celebration is going on and Yoga University is providing this program. Then why we are talking about Ayurveda? What is correlation and what is the meaning of this talk, right? So firstly, I will like to explain you that there is much correlation about yoga and Ayurveda. So firstly, many of you would be knowing that yoga is not just asana and pranayama. It is whole bunch of 8 yoga, Ashtanga yoga. So you need to follow this all to get the main purpose of yoga get into your life. That is connecting yourself with Paramatma, Atma and Paramatma. So as asana and pranayama, there are just a step out of this 8. And the first 2 steps which we are missing mostly, it is yam and niyam. And this yam and niyam is well explained in Ayurveda as a Sadhurvit. Ayurveda is a science of life. It's not just about treating the diseases and giving the medications. It is 60% about following the regimen which will keep you healthy. And if still you get ill, then we can treat you with Ayurveda as well. So it's much about yoga things. In the sense, it is much about keeping you healthy in a daily life. So now let me try to explain you what is yama, niyama and sadhurvit. So yam is about the 5 things, which is ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha and brahmacharya. So these all things are very easy to pronounce and very easy to sound, but अगर आप इसको फॉलो करने जाएंगे, it's very hard. Okay, much more harder than doing asanas. So what are these? First one is ahimsa. In the sense, non-violence. We know this. We don't hit anyone in our daily life, right? But it is also with mind and speech. If you abuse someone, it is also violence. It is so broad meaning to be understood in your life and also to be followed. So it is ahimsa. Another one is satya. Satya is not lying anytime. It's simple, right? But now with the help of technology, we are able to lie a lot in our daily life, right? Okay. The third one is asteya. Asteya in the sense non-stealing. This one should be also taken in a broad meaning. Non-stealing in the sense not just stealing some things, physical materials from someone else, but it's also having a feeling of in your mind that you want the thing that other person had, right? अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि ये व्यक्ति के पास ये चीज है जो मुझे चाहिए, I don't have this, that feeling of jealousy should even not come in your mind. If you are capable, you want anything, you ask to the universe, not do. It's not doing jealousy from others, okay? And the fourth thing is brahmacharya, in the sense celibacy. In a broad way, brahmacharya is knowing yourself. Brahma is the Atma. Knowing yourself, trying for this is the brahmacharya. And the fifth and final one is aparigraha. It is also a little bit related to asteya only. Aparigraha is the sense not collecting all the things. ये चीज मेरी है, ये सारी, ये जो feeling है, that is parigraha. In the sense you have feeling of boss on the things and people around you. It is parigraha. That should not be there. This is yam. And the niyam is again 5 things which are shaucha, santosha, tap, swadhyay and ishwar pranidhan. These things are little easier to follow. The first one is शौच, in the sense cleanliness. हमको पता है स्वच्छता क्या प्रभुता. Okay, and it is said in Ayurveda that many psychological disorders are having effect of environment around you, and the one of them is non-cleanliness. The reason behind that is that too. So you should follow the शौच. Then santosha. Santosha is contentment. Now contentment doesn't mean that you should not try to get better, but it's about being happy and content about whatever you have. Okay, so if you are not happy with the things you have, then you cannot get to the better one. Okay, now third thing is tap, fourth is swadhyay and ishwar pranidhan. These all are interrelated with each other. You should try to know yourself, intention of you coming on this earth, and you should be grateful to God for whatever you have, whatever good things happen to you every day in your life. So it's about niyam. So yam and niyam, they are more related to the moral values. So what is sadhrut? The same thing. You should follow all the moral values in your life. It's about sadhrut. And we know that Ayurveda is much known to world for anti-aging drugs, right? But what are these anti-aging drugs? Are also including the Achara Rasayan. Rasayan is anti-aging. So what is Achara Rasayan? You should follow good things in your life. You should follow yam, niyam, sadhrut in your life. It's Achara Rasayan and it's said to be the best in anti-aging. So as I told you, Ayurveda is just not about drugs. अगर आप सिर्फ moral values को follow करके ही अपनी लाइफ स्पैन को हेल्दी हैप्पी बढ़ा सकते हैं, तो आपको कोई दवा खाने की क्यों जरूरत है? दिस इज द सिंपल थिंग, राइट? मोरल वैल्यूज आर लिटिल हार्ड टू फॉलो, पर अगर आप ये करेंगे तो आपको कोई भी दवाई लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू वुड बी हेल्दी एनीवे. ओके, नाउ सेकंड थिंग, व्हाट इज देयर इन योगा? आउट ऑफ अष्टांग योग देयर इज प्रत्याहार, व्हिच इज कंट्रोलिंग योर सेंसेस. And this is the most important thing in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda में बताया गया है कि सारे ही डिसीज जो है वो साइकोसोमेटिक है, और उनके पॉजिटिव फैक्टर जो है वो सिर्फ फूड आइटम्स या एनवायरमेंटल थिंग्स ही नहीं है, बट द थिंग यू डू एवरीडे इन योर लाइफ, यानी कि विहार, दैट इज ऑल्सो सेम, इट इज रिलेटेड टू causing any disease. So what is this controlling your senses? This is like if you are going to your friend's house, you have taken your full stomach, you have taken your lunch, but still your friend is saying that let's order a pizza and have it. So you are not hungry, you know that it's not the time you should eat, you have taken your lunch, but still आप अपनी इच्छा के वश होकर वो पिज्जा खाते हैं. That is what you did, not controlling your senses. It's very simple, right? And if we think that एक दिन ये करने से क्या हो जाता है, that's true. एक दिन सिर्फ ऐसा कुछ करने से आप बीमार नहीं होते. But what happens? आप ये चीज एक बार करते हैं, आपको अच्छी लगती है, and then you do it forever, right? It becomes your habit. So this is what hurting you and your health. अगर कोई बुरी चीज आपकी हैबिट बन जाती है, तो ये फिर लॉन्ग रन में डिसीज का कारण बन सकती है. आयुर्वेद में ऐसा भी देखा गया है इन ए क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस कि जो लोग आहार विधि का पालन नहीं करते हैं, द थिंग आई टोल्ड यू, इट इज ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ आहार विधि. और दूसरी जो आहार विधि हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं उसको फॉलो नहीं किया है, खाना खाने के बाद पानी पी रहे हैं हर रोज. दैट इज वेरी सिंपल थिंग, वी डू इट विदाउट नोइंग दैट इट इज कॉजिंग सम हर्ट, राइट? तो अगर खाना खाने के बाद रोज पानी पी रहे हैं, दूसरा कोई भी निदान नहीं है, इन द सेंस देयर इज नो अदर पॉजिटिव फैक्टर्स, द पर्सन वाज नॉट स्मोकिंग, नो अल्कोहल, बट स्टिल दैट पर्सन गॉट कैंसर इन अ वेरी यंग एज. सो ये चीज है जो आयुर्वेद बिलीव करता है कि अगर आप ये डेली लाइफस्टाइल जो है, विधि बताई गई है आयुर्वेद में, विधि इन द सेंस व्हाट यू शुड डू. इट इज जस्ट लाइक आपको आपकी बॉडी मिली है और उसके लिए आयुर्वेद में फंक्शंस बताए गए हैं, या फिर उसमें पूरी प्रोसीजर बताई गई है कि इस तरीके से आपको ये ऑर्गन के पास से काम लेना है. ठीक है, इट इज सो इजी थिंग टू फॉलो. तो आगे हम बात इसी बारे में करने वाले हैं, इंद्रिय अभिग्रह, इन द सेंस आपकी सेंसेस को कंट्रोल कैसे करना है, एंड कैसे आप जो नॉन कंटेजियस डिसीज, एक्सक्लूडिंग द कोरोना दीज डेज, अदरवाइज दिस एरा इज फॉर नॉन कंटेजियस डिसीजेस या फिर लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स. मतलब कि ये इन्फेक्शन अभी की जो एरा है उसमें लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं। इन्फेक्शियस डिसीज जो थे वो अब कम होते हैं क्योंकि लोगों की लाइफस्टाइल जो है वो बहुत ही फिजिबल और बहुत इजी हो गई है, राइट। सो इन्फेक्शियस डिसीज होने का चांस कम होता है लोगों को, पर लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स होने का चांस बहुत ज्यादा होता है। अब लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स में क्या आता है? इसमें आता है डायबिटीज, थायराइड, हाइपरटेंशन, ओबेसिटी, all the mental disorders, depression, stress, all this PCOD is also there. So this all things comes under lifestyle disorder. And as I told you, Ayurveda is a science of life. So there is much things given in that. So along with this yoga correlation, now we will jump to the Ayurveda subject, how you should follow the Ayurveda lifestyle. So Ayurveda lifestyle, it's so simple and it's broadly comes under 3 subjects: the Dinacharya, Rutucharya and the Sadhuni. Now what is Dinacharya? Dina is a day, Charya is a vidhi or it is a procedure you should follow. So Dinacharya or regimen, okay. So Dinacharya is what you should do in a whole day, and this thing is bunch of all the good things you are doing when you get ill, but you don't do it regularly. But this should be done regularly, okay. And the second thing is Rutucharya. Rutucharya is following the environmental changes. As the season changes, all the environmental changes occurring, all the birds and animals are following that changes. The first thing is Ayurveda says that each and every individual is different from one another. This is called a Prakriti concept. Prakriti in the sense, when someone comes to the Ayurveda clinic or anyone comes in front of Ayurveda student, the first thing they do is they assess for the Prakriti. In the sense, which elements you have dominant in your body and which one is recessive. So whatever is dominant, so you should take your food according to that, you should do activities according to that. All the other things including the treatment, line of treatment would be also decided as per your dominancy of doshas, in the sense dominancy of the elements. And this is much known to everyone that Ayurveda says there are 3 elements: Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and they are the gross concept of the 5 elements which are Agni, Jal, Vayu, Akash and Prithvi. So we assess for this Prakriti. So now this is what we are discussing. I will give you some brief ideas, the generalized idea that you can pick up and you can accept as per your Prakriti. So all the things said by all the persons around you, it's not to be followed as they said. You should accept this as per your individuality. Okay. Okay, so now let's discuss about the Dinacharya and the Rutucharya, which is a regime that to be followed every day, every season, but still it's not same every day, it's not same for every season, okay. It's a constant war or it's constant thought process should go in your mind to do what things are good for you and what is good for not good for you, okay. So in a Dinacharya, you have to perform some acts which will help you to gain your immunity and to keep your body healthy, okay. And Dinacharya means they are so easy to be done that it should be assimilated in your everyday processes. So the Dinacharya starts with waking up, okay, and that is the best time to wake up is 96 minutes before sunrise. It's little hard, but this is the best time to wake up, because during this time all the hormones, mood stabilizing hormones and all the steroids in your body are on their expected level or much more good on good level. So you can do many good things during this time. As we said, yoga is also to be done in morning time, because in this time we are searching for our Atma to get assimilated with Paramatma. And this 96 minutes before sunrise is, this Kala is also called to be Brahma Kala, Brahma Muhurat. Okay, so this time is best to think on ourselves, to work on ourselves and to get assimilated with that supernatural power. Okay. Also the pollution is less, the noise pollution is less, the air is more clear. There are many good things in morning. Okay. So this is the first thing, that you should wake up 96 minutes before the sunrise, and this is the best time, Brahma Muhurat, to wake up. Okay. After this, you should thank God you should look to your palm and recall all the gods and thankful to them. After that, you should assess that whether the previous night food is digested or not, or you should take next other foods. So then you should assess that whether the previous night food is digested or not, and then you should attain the natural urges. Okay. Now if you attended your natural urge properly, you are feeling lightness, then you should drink water, lukewarm water, which will activate your digestive system and all the other circulatory system. Okay. But it's not compulsory for everyone to drink 2 glasses of water every day. Okay. Even if it is good for you, you should first assess that whether the previous food is digested or not. Otherwise, it is going to cause harm instead. Okay. So this is about jalpan. That should be lukewarm, and after you attain the natural urge and you feel lightness. Now you should do the mukha, dhavana, jiva nirlekhana and kavala or gandush. So this is about cleaning your oral cavity. First one is brushing. In brushing, it is proved in now in research that you should massage to your gums, not just brushing. And instead, brushing is causing much destruction to your enamel, and it is also causing some harm to your gums if it is not done properly. So in Ayurveda, it is said from beginning that you should massage your gums and then little bit brushing with the twigs of the trees like nimba, arka, which are constricting, which are kashaya in nature. So they will help to remove all the debris, and they will decrease the excessive secretion, and they will provide anti-infective properties. Okay. So that is for mukha dhavana. You have done the dhavana. That should be done with twigs, and your gums should be massaged. Okay. After that, jiva nirlekhan. Then why you should do jiva nirlekhan? Because your tongue is having receptors for taste buds are there. So there should be no obstruction in taste bud, and it's the receptor and the taste we are going to put into that. So jiva nirlekhan should be done. Okay. After that, then tongue cleaning. Okay. After that, kaval grahana. Kaval graha in the sense you should gargle, and gargle with not just plain water, but it should be done with water which is siddha with some other drugs which are good for our oral mucosas. Okay. And this will help to strengthen your jawbone, and this will help to disinfect your mouth. This will provide strength to your gums and tooth, and that will clean your tongue too. It will lead to better taste perception. And other thing is it's good for your body, because your mouth is a gateway to your body. So if it is not clean, then it's not good, right? Entrance should be clean. So this is to clear your entrance. After that, there are some things like anjana, nasya and dhoompana. I said dhoompan, not dhumrapan. Okay. So what you should do, nasya is, let me tell you that this corona thing is going on, infectious disease. All the infectious disease other than corona, other than any virus and bacteria, you should protect your nasal mucosa, because all the respiratory infections are entering from your nasal mucosa only. So you should protect that too. Okay. So how are you going to do this? The very simple one which we can follow every day. Nasya is of many types. It is used in many diseases. It is a part of line of treatment of all the central nervous system problems, because it is direct gateway to our brain, because there is only one little barrier over here. The drugs we put directly go to the brain. So it is a most important gateway. Okay. So to protect that, what you have to do, you just take tila tela or gogrit, ghee or anu tel. Okay. And just dip your little finger into that, and then just put that in your nasal cavities, and you are protected. It will help your nasal mucosa, it will help your nasociliary bed, and it will help your nasal mucosa. Your nasal ciliary bed would be protected. The cilia which are running in your nasal mucosa to trap that all the bacteria or other foreign bodies coming in will work better. So there would be no further entry of those bacteria and viruses. Okay. So this is, and also your sense of perception of all the smells will increase. This will also provide strength to your shiroha, to your eyes and to your mouth. It is providing lubrication to all your senses. Okay, so this is the best thing to be followed. So even in these days, if you are wearing a mask, is not just enough, because virus is not so gross that it won't enter through mask. Okay, there are much precautions also in wearing masks should be followed. But if you are doing this nasya, this is called pratimarsh nasya. So if you are doing this little thing, then you can protect your nasal mucosa better for sure. Okay. After this, anjan is to protect your eye mucosa of your this cavity. So now what you are going to do is, why? So first thing is it will protect your mucosa over here. So there would be no infections of eye or any other further infections. Other thing is that it will make your eyes look more beautiful. Your eyesight will be improved, and the two colors of your eyes, black and white, will be more pursued perfectly. So your eye would look better. So as we know that Ayurveda is much more prevalent for beauty products also. So this is also one of this. If your eyes are good, so it's good. So you should follow anjan every day. Okay. And the third thing is dhumapana. If you are feeling more secretions in your nasal cavity, oral cavity, or some infections, then this dhuma is for you guys. In dhumapana, you have to take some drugs and you have to burn them, and the smoke which is coming should be inhaled. Okay, it should not be inhaled from your nose. It should be, if it is inhaled from your nose, it should not cross the nasal cavity. So better you take them with nose, remove them from your. Okay, I said dhumapana, not dhumrapana. So you have to take some Ayurvedic drugs, you have to burn them, and whatever smoke comes out, you should take them from your nose and then remove from your mouth. It should not be taken from your mouth, because otherwise it will go in all the other senses upwards, and which is not good for the senses of eye, because it is Ushna and Tikshna. Smoke is Ushna, Tikshna and Ruksh, and these qualities are not expected for your eyesight. So what you have to do, you have to take this from nose and remove that from your mouth. It is to be repeated for 3 times. So this is to be done every day to protect yourself every day. We are doing these things now because we have to protect ourselves from other infectious diseases. But if we follow this from beginning every day, then we have no fear of getting ill from any infectious disease. So in Ahar Vidhi, Jalpan Vidhi, all this Vidhi we are discussing, that will protect you from the lifestyle disorders and the psychological disorders. But these things, the Dinacharya and Rutucharya, will help you more with dealing with the infectious disease. Okay? And after that, it comes the Vyayam in a Dinacharya. So Vyayam, which is also a part of yoga, which is asana and pranayam, the definition of this is one which is done with the ease and effortlessly. So you don't need to work much harder, and rigorously workout should not be done, because it's not what is expected for your body. Your body needs the relaxation and the better blood circulation, better relaxation of your muscles, better working of your joint and the movements of joints. So for that purpose, exercise should be done. It shouldn't be done so rigorously that it will harm you instead. Okay. This was Dinacharya, which is common for 365 days. Whether there are changes in a season, then there are some rules that should be followed. Like there are little changes which should be done. But this Dinacharya should be followed every day. Okay. Now after seeing the Dinacharya, we will see the Ratricharya is also there in Ayurveda, but it is much common to this only. Like you should walk to 100 steps at least after taking dinner. And you should not just sleep directly after eating. There should be at least 2 hours of difference between your dinner and your sleeping time. And this all things we will also discuss in Ahar Vidhi also, but Ratricharya is about that. And you should not eat anything after you have taken dinner. Okay, there is a very wrong concept going on in our society these days. We will talk about that. Okay, that's not the point. Okay, now we are jumping to the Rutucharya. So what is Rutucharya? It is about the seasonal changes and getting conducive to that seasonal changes. Okay. So now this, according to the seasonal calendar, it is the Grishma Ritu, in the sense summer season is going on. But due to our deeds, okay, we are facing this unexpected seasonal changes. So this is rainy season somewhere, because it is due to the effects of cyclone, but mainly it is the summer season going on. So we will see that what fruits, vegetables, cereals and drinks you should take during this season, which type of clothes you should wear and all this stuff. Because Ayurveda is so particular about every season and each and everything. Okay, see that what is this Grishma Ritu? It is summer season in which the Pitta and Vata element of your body naturally increases due to the environmental changes. So now what your responsibility is, you should take food which is opposite of that quality. And that qualities are Madhura, Snigdha, Guru, Shita. Okay. And I just told you this qualities, but which foods comes in this? Okay, so first let's start with the fruits. The fruits are mango, the seasonal one, and I tell you that every seasonal fruits should be consumed by you because it is made to get conducive to yourself during this season. So seasonal fruits are best to eat all the seasons. Okay, seasonal fruit is mango. Then what you need during this season much is a water content. So you should take tomato, cucumber, watermelon and all the citrus fruits. Okay, oranges and all that. Then other fruits which are so good because they are little heavy and they are sweet, so they will help to decrease your Pitta element. Those are the plum, peaches and the pumpkin is the best one to eat. Okay, and the another one is a bilva phal. It is a pakwa bilva phal. Okay, so which the fruits of bilva plant. Okay, so these are the fruits. So now getting towards the vegetables. आप वेजिटेबल्स में बॉटल गोर्ड एंड ग्रीन लीफी वेजिटेबल्स, ग्रीन बीन्स या फिर बथुआ है, परवल की भाजी है, ये सब ले सकते हैं. एंड नाउ गेटिंग टुवर्ड्स द सीरियल्स एंड बीन्स. इस सीजन में गेहूं, चावल और मुद्ग यानी कि ग्रीन बीन्स, दिस शुड बी टेकन. दे आर easy to digest and they won't give much stress on your digestive system. But other than this, like ragi and bajra are less conducive with this season, so you should not take much. Okay, so now getting towards the drinks, which is the best part of this season because all the drinks are so tasty and so refreshing and full of antioxidants. Okay, so the brief about them is, first thing, you should not drink teas and coffees much during this season. Okay, why? Because they are having many acids and caffeine in them. So this will create dehydration in your body and this is what you don't need. You need much water during this season. So in compensation to this teas, you can take the green teas or the Pudina teas or all the citrus fruit. You can take the Nimbu Shakar, in the sense Nimbu Pani. This is so conducive and the best drink to have in this season. Other than this, as we know that curd and buttermilk, we like this during this season much. पर इसको फ्रिज में रखने से इसकी प्रवृत्ति जो है वो ठंडी नहीं हो जाती. इट्स बेसिकली हॉट इन नेचर. सो जितना हो सके बटर मिल्क कम लेना है. बट इफ यू स्टिल वांट टू हैव इट, देन यू शुड ऐड सम जीरा इनटू दैट और सम पुदीना चटनी इन दैट. आफ्टर दैट यू कैन टेक इट. ओके, एंड इट शुड बी विथ मच मोर वाटर कंटेंट. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट कर्ड एंड दैट. नाउ इन मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स, milk you can take in this season, and ghee is also to be taken much in this season. Okay, now which drinks you should have in this season? Okay, the first one is panna. Okay, this is so famous, so good thing to drink in this season. So aam panna is there, नींबू पानी is there. इसके अलावा दूसरे कोई ड्रिंक्स जो प्रॉपर आयुर्वेद रसायन क्वालिटी के साथ है तो वो है आम पन्ना, आमलकी का जूस, या फिर आपको ड्राई आमलकी पाउडर, गूसबेरी का जो पाउडर है वो मिल जाएगा, तो उसको भी पानी में डाल के आप पी सकते हैं. और फिर बिल्वा का शरबत मिलता है, दैट इट इज ऑल्सो गुड फॉर दिस सीजन. एंड कोकम शरबत इज ऑल्सो गुड इन दिस सीजन बिकॉज इट इज फुल ऑफ द एंटीऑक्सीडेंट्स, बिकॉज ऑल द साइट्रस फ्रूट्स are providing us much more energy and the antioxidants, so they are much good in this season. So after completing the citrus part of this season, let's go towards the sweet part of this season. In this season, you can take gulkanda along with milk or as such. So gulkand, shrikhand, and chincha panak and kharjur panak and manthkalna. These are so interesting. See, in chincha panak you have to take the chincha, imli, and you can mix guda, ela, marich and some things which jeerak is also to be added. So this will make some very good taste in your mouth and good for your health. Other is kharjur panak. In that you just have to take kharjur, dates, and soak them in water and then or in a milk and then churn them and add some other spices, and this will be so good for this season. The manthkalna is, if you broadly take that, it is just like our Horlicks and Bournvita coming these days. What is this kalna? You can take chana dal or sattu, in the sense the flour of wheat, and you add milk, water, gur or mishri, and other than ela, elaichi, cardamom, and mix this all. You can make this to the thick consistency also, a liquid consistency, and you can have this. It is full of nutrients, so good for you in this season. Okay, so after all this food content, now let's jump towards the colors of clothes and types of clothes. So during this season, as there is much heat outside, your body is perspiring a lot to take down to that temperature. Okay, so what should be there in your clothes? They should be so loose, enough loose that they can allow perspiration to occur. Okay, the colors should be also light, and the orange color or the bhagwa color is said to be the color of this season, and other light colored clothes you can wear. But which type of clothes? It should be cotton or khadi is the best for this season. Okay, so this was about food and clothes in Grishma Ritu. Now other thing which is followed in this season is Vihara. So in Samhita it is said that you should go on the places which is having good fragrance of flowers, fountains, open air. In this atmosphere, your evening should be spent during this season. How conducive, right? Okay. And what else? That you should also use fragrances during this season, and you should maintain the shaucha. You should maintain the cleanliness of your body too. And other thing that you can do parisheka and avgahan. You can using the fragrances, okay, and other cold liquids, and you can also have a sitz bath with the fluid filled with the cold things and flowers. And the best flower is I think the flower of Palasha or Kesura. So this flower is so cold in nature that you will feel best if you're taking bath with water which is having flowers of this. Okay. And other things which I told you in a Dinacharya are to be followed. But what is the change? Let's see, if you're doing Anjan every day in winter season, Anjan is Tikshna in nature. Okay. But in season mein kya ho raha hai ki already there is much Tikshnata in atmosphere, there is much hotness, there is much penetrating qualities in atmosphere, in such penetrating qualities in environment, right? So you should not do that much on your own. आपको इसको कम करना है. So क्या करना है? That frequency should be decreased. Or else, if you are doing in winter seasons, you can do the brushing and the kaval graha with much tikshna drugs, okay, which are having more कटु तिक्ता एंड उष्ण क्वालिटीज. बट ड्यूरिंग दिस सीजन हमको ये कम करना है, तो हम क्या करेंगे? जो थोड़े कम उष्ण तीक्ष्ण ड्रग्स हैं उनका इस्तेमाल करेंगे और फ्रीक्वेंसी थोड़ी कम कर देंगे. दिस इज व्हाट नीड टू बी डन. Let's discuss about Ahar Vidhi and Jalpan Vidhi. This is the most important thing which you should follow, you should know, because जो सारे लाइफस्टाइल डिसऑर्डर्स हो रहे हैं, जो सारी संतर्पण जन्य व्याधि, यानी कि जो व्याधि होती है टेक्नोलॉजी का ज्यादा इस्तेमाल करने से, enjoying all the ease you have in your life and doing no activity will cause you the संतर्पण जन्य व्याधि or lifestyle disorders. And which are these lifestyle disorders? They are obesity, hypertension, diabetes, thyroid, PCOD and other hormonal and mental disorders. Ayurveda has said that all the diseases are psychosomatic and the positive factors for this are also related to the body and the mind too. Okay. So now, what is Ahar Vidhi? Ahar Vidhi is what we are discussing about the food patterns and the procedure and all the rasas you should take according to the Vidhi described in Ayurveda. Okay. So now Ahar Vidhi, firstly, the most important thing in Ayurveda is Agni. You should take care of your Agni, and just this thing will make you healthy forever. Okay. You should eat according to your Agni, sleep according to your Agni, drink water according to Agni, do exercise according to your Agni. This whole thing rotates around Agni only. Okay, so what is this Agni? How to assess this? So Agni is of 4 types, and how you can assess them. First thing is, there are one type of people वो कोई भी खाना खाएंगे, कितनी भी अमाउंट में खाएंगे, दे डाइजेस्ट इजीली और उनको फिर से अच्छी भूख लग भी जाती है. दिस इज कॉल्ड तीक्ष्ण अग्नि. ये अग्नि वाले लोग जो होते हैं वो ज्यादा अमाउंट में खाना खाते हैं, कोई भी सीजन में कुछ भी करे उनको कुछ तकलीफ नहीं होती है. जब ये बहुत ही ज्यादा टाइम तक होता है तब उनको जाके कुछ तकलीफ होती है. तो मतलब अगर कोई विधि भी फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं ना तो भी उनको प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रही है. दिस इज वन टाइप तीक्ष्ण अग्नि. ओके, दिस इज नॉट सेड टू बी बेस्ट वन. ओके, जस्ट स्टेट यू तीक्ष्ण अग्नि इज नॉट द बेस्ट वन, बिकॉज अगर तीक्ष्ण अग्नि आपको है देन यू नीड टू ईट अगेन एंड अगेन एंड स्टिल यू आर नॉट कंटेंट. इट इज डिजास्टर फॉर योरसेल्फ. इट्स नॉट गुड. ओके, द सेकेंड थिंग इज तीक्ष्ण अग्नि, देन मंद अग्नि. सो विच आर दिस टाइप ऑफ पीपल? जो लोग सुबह नाश्ता कर ले तो इनको रात तक भूख ना लगे, या फिर शाम तक जिनको भूख ना लगे, लाइक दे टेक मच टाइम टू डाइजेस्ट फूड, और इनका क्वांटिटी भी खाने का कम रहता है. और अगर कुछ भी थोड़ा सा भी चेंज हो गया इनकी लाइफस्टाइल में तो ये इनकी अग्नि खराब हो जाती है, या तो इनको कॉन्स्टिपेशन, वॉमिटिंग, डायरिया कुछ भी हो सकता है. ठीक है, सो दिस आर मंद अग्नि पीपल. स्टिल दिस इज द फिजियोलॉजिकल वन. ओके, this is a physiological one, it's not pathology. Stay tuned for this. Okay, now third one is Vishama Agni. So this type of people, they are like, इनको कभी बहुत ज्यादा भूख लगेगी, सुबह अच्छे से नाश्ता किया फिर भी दोपहर को ज्यादा भूख लग जाएगी, और कभी क्या होगा कि सुबह नाश्ता नहीं किया तो भी दोपहर को भूख नहीं लगी, या फिर तो भी दोपहर को लग गई. Nothing is decided about this people. Okay, like there is not a regular pattern जो ये लोग follow करते हैं. There is much ups and downs. Okay, so this is Vishama Agni and it is also physiological. Now the fourth one is Sama Agni. It is said to be the ideal one, and you should work to go towards that side. Sama Agni is what? It is about arogya. It is the health. What is Sama Agni? That if you are following all the vidhis, how you should eat, you are following that properly. You are following the regimens, like you should eat according to your bala, according to your age, according to season around you, according to the place you are staying. Okay, this all things should be maintained. तो अगर ये विधि के अनुसार खाना खाते हैं तो उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती. एवरीथिंग गोज इन अ रिदम. पर जैसे थोड़ा सा चेंज किया, जो उनको नहीं करना चाहिए था वो किया, तो इनको प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. सो दिस इज सेड टू बी द आइडियल वन. आपको जो करना है वो कीजिए, यू विल बी हेल्दी. इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग द थिंग्स यू शुडंट, देन यू विल गेट इल. ओके, तो ये आइडियल वन है. बाकी सारी फिजियोलॉजिकल ही है. पर फिर क्या होता है कि जो अगर आपकी तीक्ष्ण अग्नि, विषम अग्नि या मंद अग्नि है, देन यू शुड एक्ट अकॉर्डिंगली. ओके, एंड दे आर लिटिल हार्ड टू मेंटेन. सो ये थोड़ा सम अग्नि से कम आइडियल है. ओके, बट दे आर स्टिल फिजियोलॉजिकल. सो यू शुड नो फर्स्ट योर टाइप ऑफ अग्नि, आपकी कौन सी टाइप की अग्नि है. देन आफ्टर दैट कम्स द अभ्याहरण शक्ति एंड जरण शक्ति. द फर्स्ट वन इज कि आप खाना खाने बैठते हैं तब कितनी अमाउंट में खाना खा सकते हैं, which will lead to the contentment. And the second thing is जरण शक्ति, which is अगर आपने खाना खा लिया तो आपको 3 घंटे के बाद, 2 घंटे के बाद, 4 घंटे के बाद कब फिर से भूख लगती है. And that is the duration which your body takes to digest the food. So this is जरण शक्ति. So you should assess these both things to eat accordingly and to act according to your agni. Okay, so first you should see that how much amount of food you can eat. If you eat much food to get contentment, then your Tikshna Agni, maybe Vishama Agni. But if you take less amount of food, it is Manda Agni, and you take longer duration to digest that food. This is also Manda Agni. Okay, so you should assess these things. Now after assessing this thing, The most important thing is you should eat when you are hungry. That is ruchi. So when you feel to eat, when you feel that your previous food is digested, you are feeling much hunger and you are ready to accept the food, and that time you should eat. And this thing is said to be the biological clock. You should not follow the clock on the wall. If it is 1 o'clock, it's your time to lunch, you have to eat. It's not compulsion. Okay? You should eat according to your biological clock, and which is when you feel hunger, when you feel thirst, when you feel sleepy. You should follow those urges naturally. Okay? So this is about Ahar Vidhi. Now in Ahar Vidhi there is much more things to be discussed. But in short, there is one sequence of rasa or the tastes are given which you should follow. So when you are hungry, your digestive fire is on fire. It's much stronger in the beginning, and then you take foods and then it subsides. Okay? So when you are most hungry, you should take sweet foods which are heavy to digest. Okay? So the concept we are following these days, which is taking dessert at the end, is not true, and it's not correct for our body and for our geological India. For India, it's not correct. What you should follow is then when you are most hungry, you should eat sweet food. So it should be in beginning, not in the end. Second thing, during food you can take all the rasas together, and you should not follow that you like sweet things only, you will eat sweet things only, you don't like the bitter ones, you don't eat them, then you need to eat bitter medicines later on, right? So there should be conglomeration of all the rasas. You should eat all the rasas in a good proportion, equal proportion mostly. And at last you should take the Katu Tikta Kashaya ras, in the sense which are constricting to your mouth. So जो भी debris है आपकी माउथ में वो क्लियर हो जाएंगी, and there would be less secretions because you don't need them now. After food you don't need them much. तो ये सब चीजें होंगी और आपका माउथ क्लियर हो जाएगा. So eating tambula, which is also a part of दिनचर्या. Tambula is a kashaya ras, in the sense pan, but that should not be with the tambaku. Okay, it should be with the ugafar, that is arecanut and katha. So this all things should be taken, or you can just take the mukwas, which we take after food, is also of a kashaya ras. So that will help you to get rid of all that things. So this is sequel of rasas. Now the most prevalent things in our society and which are most common for the disease causing agents, they are drinking water after having food, sleeping directly after having food, and having desserts, juices, milkshakes, and all those things after having food. This is so wrong. Okay? You should at least walk 100 steps after having meals, and you should not sleep directly after having meals. There should be 2 hours difference at least. Because if you sleep now, then all your scrotus, all your vessels and that would be in resting stage, and there won't be much digestion. So that food would be there in your stomach for so long. तो फिर आपको बाद में भूख नहीं लगेगी, या फिर अगर फिर आपने खाना खा लिया, so that would increase the debris in your body. Okay, and that would need much more antioxidants to clear that debris. और अगर फिर भी ये debris clear नहीं हुई, then it can turn into literally poison for your body. So you should think that आज तक आपने कितना सारा debris आपके body में इकट्ठा किया हुआ है. Just eating protein diet is not enough, guys. Okay, you should assess for your agni. अगर आपकी अग्नि ही ठीक नहीं है, but you are taking all the good stuffs, but it is not getting digested, it is not getting assimilated in your body, then there is no use. Okay, so this is the thing, the most important thing, as I told you. And in Ayurveda it is also said that all the diseases are due to agni, mandya. If you are collecting all the debris, you are not taking care of agni, just eating and eating, this will create some serious consequences. Positive factors for PCOD, obesity, diabetes mellitus. This is much related to this food pattern we are taking these days. So this is the most important thing. We should correct our food pattern. Now, in short, there is also another food like Ahar Vidhi is given, and Ahar Vidhi Vishesh Ayatan is given. The things you should have while having food and how you should eat it. You should eat hot foods like easily prepared and freshly prepared, because freshly prepared foods are only having the qualities it should have. Okay, then it should be unctuous. There should be not dry snacks, too much dry snacks in your food. It should be full of unctuousness. So it should be full of unctuousness. It should be freshly prepared. It should be prepared according to vidhi of making food. There is also another vidhi for making food. So how it is done? While you are making food, you should take care that there is no too much opposite qualities of foods mixing and you are taking them. Like if you are taking milk and citrus fruit together, अगर मिल्क अलग से ले रहे हैं तो अच्छा है, साइट्रस फ्रूट्स अलग से ले रहे हैं तो अच्छा है, पर इन दोनों को मिक्स कर दिया, किसी की भी क्वालिटी आपको नहीं मिलेगी रोटी में. Like is that you should be concentrated while you are eating food. You should not watch TVs, you should not read newspapers, or you should not be talking even. Okay, you should be just concentrated on what you are eating, which things your body need more during this season. All this should be evaluated and concentrated in only food. Okay, and other thing is this is about Vidhi Vishesh Ayatan, and Ahar Vidhi is, as I told you, about rasas. Precautions should be taken and your food should be such that जो सीजन चल रही है, जो आपकी बॉडी की कंडीशन है, उसको वो कंपेंसेट करे. अगर बहुत ही ज्यादा हीट है तो आपको गर्म चाय पीने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. ओके, दिस विल हार्म टू योर बॉडी. सो यू शुड कंपेंसेट द थिंग्स गोइंग आउटसाइड योर बॉडी एंड यू आर टेकिंग इनसाइड योर बॉडी. ओके, सो दिस इज सो ब्रीफ अबाउट आहार विधि, which is must to be followed to get rid of all the lifestyle disorders. Okay, now we are heading towards the Jalpan Vidhi, and this is so important thing because we are told that you should drink 8 glasses of water a day. But as I told you, Ayurveda says that each and every individual is a different. No one is having the same physical activity, same constituent of their body, same place they are living, same activity they are doing, same age. So this all thing differs. Then how can you generalize everyone that everyone should be drink and should have 8 glasses of water? It's not like that. You should assess your physical activities. You should assess the work you are doing. You should assess the environment you are staying in. If you are whole day you are working in office, there is a centrally AC. You are doing no physical activity, just sitting on a chair, and you are not working out, and you are of a young age, and the environment you are staying in is a more of humid, then you don't need 8 glasses of water. And even if still you drink the 8 glasses of water, it's going to cause harm in your body. It will cause so many diseases because अगर आप, जैसे कि मैंने बोला, you have to compensate all the time. अगर आप आनुप देश में यानी कि बहुत ह्यूमिड देश में रह रहे हैं और आप काम भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये सारी चीजें, और फिर भी पानी पी रहे हैं, then the water content in your body will be much more. और जैसे कि हमें पता है कि कोई चीज अगर लिमिट से ज्यादा जाती है then it will harm to you. So this same goes for each and every concept. So for Jalpan Vidhi too, you should always follow the natural urges of your body. When you feel to drink, when you feel thirsty, you drink water. Okay, but it is not compulsory to have a bottle along with you and drink water every 30 minutes, every 1 hour. Nowadays we are having some apps which are recalling you to drink water every 1 hour. Such apps are not needed. Your body has such a good system. Whenever your body will need water, it will make you thirsty and you have to drink water. It's so simple, as simple as that. So there is no much more need of technology to be used to maintain our body. You just need to follow the natural urges of your body. That's it. Okay, for water. For Jalpan Vidhi, it is said that it should be not same in all the seasons. As I told you in Ritucharya and Dincharya also, that it should be not same for all the seasons. Like in summer season, you need much more water. If you're doing more physical work, you need much more water. But in winter seasons, we don't feel much thirst because there is no perspiration. But atmosphere is also cold, so accordingly, you should drink water. And water, even in this season, even in summer, it should be not much more in quantity together. Like अगर आपको प्यास लगी है, drink 1 glass. अगर फिर से लगी है, then give some gap. After that, you take another glass of water. But drinking 2 to 3 glasses of water together is not a thing. Okay. So even in this season it is allowed to have a much water, but that should be also not too excess and not together, okay, in a big quantity. This should be maintained. Now water should be taken, not plain water all the day. According to season you should add some drinks, according to season you should add some things into that. Just like if it is a Grishma Ritu, if it is summer Ritu, then you should add some mint, some jeera, some jaggery into that, or you can also add mishri. I said mishri, not the refined sugar, mishri. So these all things you can add. And the fashion which is going on these days, which is detox water, is a good thing to follow. Okay, so you can have that according to season. And then if it is winter, then you should add adrak into that, shuthi, all those things. Okay, so it should be changed every season. So in this season, it should be done. And this would be also discussed in Grishma Ritu, the drinks you should have in this season. Okay, so this is about Jal Pan Vidhi. And one more important thing. These seasons we are running out in a heat. And then coming home we feel so thirsty और हम तभी 2-3 ग्लास पानी पी लेते हैं. It is cause of bleeding disorders according to Ayurveda. So when you are in heat, just come to home, sit for a while. जब आपका टेम्परेचर नॉर्मल हो जाएगा तो उसके बाद थोड़ा सा पानी पीजिए, फिर थोड़ी देर के बाद थोड़ा सा पानी पीजिए. दिस इज हाउ इट शुड बी डन. एक ही साथ गर्मी से आने के बाद तुरंत पानी पीना सही नहीं होगा. और ग्रीष्म ऋतु में हम गर्म पानी पीना पसंद नहीं करते, राइट? In other seasons, hot water, lukewarm water is conducive, but in this season it is not. So in this season you should have cold water. But cold water never means that water came from fridge. Fridge is never an option, okay? So what you can do for cold water? You heat water, boil it. After that you take that to the room temperature, put that in a matka, and that is the water which is called Shruta Shrita Jal, which is light to digest, Madhura, Shita, Snigdha, means so conducive for this season. So this is to be done with the water, okay? So this is about Jal Pan Vidhi. At the Diva Swapa Vidhi, in the sense when you should sleep. For Ayurveda students it's much a big question that whether you should sleep during daytime or not, because we are taught and we notice that sleeping during daytime is a nidana, is a positive factor for many diseases. So whether we should do this or not, okay, this is a big question. So Grishma Ritu is the best season to sleep during daytime, because in this season, as we know that Vata and Pitta element increases in your body. In the sense, Ushnata, Tikshnata, Rukshata will increase in your body. So to compensate that, we need to take day sleep, because it is increasing Shleshma, it is increasing unctuousness in your body. Other than this, if you are reading a lot, if you are doing physical activity a lot, you are walking a lot, if you are a pregnant lady, if you are old age, if you are infant, if there is infant in your home, and these people or who are suffering from some diseases, who are not being able to sleep during night, so ये सारे लोग जो है वो दिन में सो सकते हैं. But there is also one caution. Sleeping during daytime doesn't mean that you sleep after taking food. Okay? अगर आपकी रात की नींद पूरी नहीं हुई है किसी कारण से, आप दिन में सो सकते हैं तो कंपेंसेट कर. पर ये होना चाहिए खाना खाने से पहले, खाना खाने के बाद नहीं. क्योंकि जैसा कि हमने आहार विधि में देखा था, अगर खाना खाने के बाद आप सो रहे हैं तो ये आपकी बॉडी में श्लेष्म बढ़ाएगा, आपकी पैरासिम्पैथेटिक सिस्टम को ऑन कर देगा. इट वुड बी इन अ रेस्ट मोड, सो इट वुड नॉट, योर बॉडी वुड नॉट लाइक टू डाइजेस्ट, वुड नॉट लाइक टू वर्क, योर बॉडी विल स्लीप and there would be no digestion and debris in your body. Okay, so it should be before taking lunch or meals. And first thing, you should not do Ratri Jagrana, as it is a fashion in these days. People used to sleep at 2 a.m., 1 a.m. This is not time to sleep. Your body rests during this time. Your body builds up immunity. Your body collects all the memory. Your body is recovering during you are sleeping, because it have to do no other work other than just working on its own. So ये time जो है वो बहुत important है. And out of 3 of summer, Ayurveda have said 3 pillars of our health. that is Ahar, Nidra and Brahmacharya. So out of that, Nidra is there. So Nidra is so important for your immunity that it is found in research that if you are not having adequate sleep, your immunity is not going to be well and you can get affected with many infectious species easily. And same for Ahar. If you are not following the Ahar Vidhi, there is much more debris in your body, much more undigested food which needs antioxidants, and if it don't get, it will eat out your tissues. So this will decrease your immunity because your body need to give antioxidant to that food which is not digested instead of giving it to the infectious material coming in your body. So this is very simple and to be followed, that follow the Ahar Vidhi, follow the Nidra Vidhi, follow the Jalpan Vidhi, so that your body can get enough antioxidants, enough energy to run or to fight with those infections. Okay. And this, all the vidhis are important to keep your elements in a stable way, and which is called to be arogya. Swasthya is what? Keeping your all the elements in equilibrium is called swasthya. So for that, you don't need to run a lot after many things. You just need to follow these things. Okay. So Vyayam is told to be done according to seasons and according to your elements in your body, their dominance in your body. So first thing, if you are Vata or Pitta Prakriti person, means the Agneya, Vayavya and Akashiya, these elements are more in your body, then you should not work out much. Okay, working out 1 hour, 2 hours is not compulsion for everyone. Ayurveda says everyone is different, so everyone should follow all the regime according to their body. Okay, so act accordingly. Okay, how you will decide that this is enough exercise for my body, this is the time I should work? So the best thing is when you perspire is the best indication that this workout is enough for you. Now you should stop. Okay, and so this is the indication. And now if we see according to season, then in winter season you can work out much more, but in Grishma Ritu, in summer season, you should not work out, because Ayurveda is all about compensating the external environment and the internal environment. So in rainy season and in Grishma, in summer season, already there is increase of Vata, Pitta, Ushna, Tikshna, Ruks quality in environment. So you should compensate that with less qualities ingested and involved in your activity to compensate. Okay, so if you are doing much Vyayam, it will increase your Vata. So you should not work out much during these seasons, but you can work out more in winter seasons, because we take food much more heavy, the season is conducive, the environment is conducive, so it is better to work out more during winter season. Okay, so this is about workout. Now the pre and post conditions some followed before this doing exercise. So what is that? Before doing exercise, you should massage a little to warm up and just relax your muscles. And after doing exercise, little bit more rigorous massage to compensate the Vata which have increased due to Vyayama. Okay, so these things should be followed. These are much important things, because if you are doing exercise, taking snana, then Vata will increase much more in your body and you can feel directly the sneezings and the running nose. Okay, but if you exercise and then massage little, then your body will compensate. Okay, so you should do this. So this is about the Vyayama Vidhi. And one more thing that I need to clear over here only, we can take that in Ahar also, but all the persons going to gym, following the protein diet, just taking the protein diet is not enough, guys. You should much more be concentrated on your Agni. If your body is assimilating that protein nicely in your body, then it's okay. But if you are facing some other problems and still doing the exercises, still taking the protein diet, then this is not done. You should much more concentrate on your body first. You should know the body type, the type of exercise you are doing, the amount of exercise you are doing, and the amount and the type of food you are taking should be also considered. Okay, don't stay healthy, stay happy, respect your body, because this is the place and this is the thing which is going to be with you till death. This is the best company you can have. So the company you have till death with you should be the best one. So protect yourself, respect your body and take care of yourself. Thank you so much. See you. Namaskar.